Hey there, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing another second impressions video. As you guys saw from the title, this is part 19. It's my longest series by a long shot, and there's a whole lot of fragrances that I can now give you a second impressions on. So without further ado, I think we're just gonna get right into it. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe, and let's start with my scent of the day actually, which is Simply, I think it's just called Simply, Jil Sander. I'll put the name up. Oh, Simply Elixir by Jil Sander. So I was really excited about this one because I've had such great experience with Jil Sander fragrances, and I'm wearing it, so I'll just kind of refresh, and I like it. I mean, I definitely like it, but I feel like I've just seen even more so since that haul video, how much it reminds me of Mojito pour homme, and that really hasn't changed. It's got a pretty strong like cinnamon spiced warm kind of feel to it, and though there isn't any tea in this, it reminds me so much of Mojito pour homme, which does have tea, that I find them actually very, very similar to one another, which is great because I like the scent. I just don't know if I would really think that having both is worth it. And I have to say, I wasn't expecting this to be as like masculine or unisex as it actually ends up being. Obviously the Gucci fragrance is a men's fragrance, which honestly I think is unisex, but this I think I imagined it to be sweeter, and so it just kind of threw me off how similar they actually quite were. But having said that, I know that there are so many people who really loved Mojito pour homme, and it's basically impossible to find, and when you do, they're very, very old bottles. So in that way, I would definitely recommend this. I mean, if you've been looking for it, then that's a great dupe. And performance wise, honestly, it's on par / better than Mojito pour homme performs on me personally. So I recommend it for that sake, but for my collection, it's just a little bit lacking in in how unique it actually would be. Next, we'll move on to a fragrance that I've loved, and that's Naxos. I always struggle with the pronunciation of that, by Xerjoff. And this one, I've really come to just love. I don't think I'm gonna be able to spray all these fragrances, but I've really come to love. So I picked it up because it was on for a really good deal for a short amount of time for some tester bottles that were available, and I think I was just expecting it to be a lot more mediocre than it was, because my 3 other Xerjoff fragrances, even though I like them to varying degrees, they've been underwhelming, to be honest with you, and this is the extreme opposite to that. I adore this fragrance, and Fragcom really came through with their recommendations because this is very, very raved about, and I just love it. This also has cinnamon, but it's a lot lighter of a cinnamon. There's jasmine and honey and bergamot and tonka, like vanilla base. It's very, very like slight tobacco or tobacco leaf. Oh my God, I just love this fragrance. It's really, really surprised me. It made me kind of become all the more interested in Xerjoff all over again. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. If you can find it, I think it's worth the hype. It is my favorite Xerjoff fragrance that I've tried to date, and my favorite that I own. So I can't say enough good things about that one. Quickly, we're gonna go back to Jil Sander. I didn't realize I have 2 more. So we're gonna talk firstly about Jil Sander's Sun Delight. This one I'm gonna spray the air a little bit. I really did like this one. This kind of fell back into what I expect from Jil Sander. It is a flanker of Sun, which I adore. This is a bit fruitier, it's a bit fresher, it's less of a pool type fragrance the way Sun is. This is a little bit more beachy and I really did like it. It's an eau de toilette, but I find it performs pretty well, honestly. And yeah, I really did like it, and I think I'm going to be wearing it a lot more in actually now in the summer months, in the spring and summer months, compared to when I picked it up, because I picked it up a little bit off season, obviously, but I think I'm going to get a lot more into it now as it's getting warmer. Then we also have Sun Bath, and this one I am going to have to spray because, and I mentioned it in the haul as well, but this one is a little bit harder to wear. This is aquatic, and there is I'm not sure if there's lotus in this, but I get that kind of vibe. I smell lotus. There is a tendency sometimes for this to get a bit murky in its aquaticness, and it makes it a little bit harder to wear. I feel like I would want to wear this layered with something, and I've been experimenting and I haven't found my perfect match, but I like to wear this with something that in reality would kind of ground it a little bit more and make it a little bit sweeter, and even if it doesn't make it sweeter, but just grounds it in some way, because it's like murky and airy at its worst. Obviously it's murky and airy, and I feel like it needs something, even as a beachy summery kind of fragrance, it needs something in its base that for me is missing. So out of the two flankers, I would definitely recommend Sun Delight over Sun Bath, unless you're a huge aquatic fragrance person, in which case go for it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to layer that one. All right, so the next one I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on because it's very hard to find again, and why bore you with something that's hard to find? But this is Guerlain Mon Exclusif Eau de Parfum, and I think that's the name. I'll put up the name. I think it's Mon Exclusif. And I had heard so many, like a million and one good things about it, and I just figured I'd never find it. But I did, and it did come with stickers so you could put your name on it, and I did. I know a lot of people think it's tacky, but honestly, I thought it was really sweet. And I don't have a super common name, so it's nice to have my name on things. And I lost the rest of the stickers, but I definitely should have kept them. But unfortunately, I lost them. I'm just now realizing I did like this. I have to say, I really do like it, but the amount of hype it gets, personally, I wouldn't go crazy trying to find it. If you find it for a good deal and you know that you love the fragrance, then by all means go for it. But if you were like me and you had no idea and you were gonna blind buy it, I would say it has like an element of Mon Guerlain, but it has like a slight almond touch to it, but it's not really sweet. It's kind of got like a bergamot lemon opening, which lasts longer than I would like, because I think it kind of mutes down the almond personally. And it's nice, don't get me wrong, it is definitely nice. It's a very classy type of fragrance. I feel like it's a very distinguished woman fragrance, but yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to try to track it down or anything. It's nice, but it's a like, it's not a love. However, something that is a love, and it has remained as such, is Lune Feline by Ateliers. Oh my God, you guys, I can't won't stop with this. I could make a million and one videos just on this, but I love it. This, to date, must be my favorite vanilla. I mean, this and Dior Addict kind of compete. But this is the kind of vanilla that's in my safe space, my safe zone, where it's darker. This is just like spiced, and it's, oh my God, I love it. It's like kind of leather. I just adore it. I think it's stunning. It lasts an incredibly long time. The bottle is beautiful. The box is beautiful. This really did completely change the game for me. I would say do not blind buy. I did not blind buy it. I wouldn't recommend blind buying it, and I wouldn't recommend blind buying any Ateliers des Arts because you will be confused. You really do have to see what works for you, and I would recommend you to sample. The other Atelier des Arts that I have, I didn't sample, and I'm dealing with the consequences because it is a difficult line to just pick up without knowing the fragrance you like. But Lune Feline over everything, I absolutely adore it, and nothing's really changed since I hauled it. I am obsessed. Then on the other side of the price spectrum, Big by Lush. I mean, it's remained as one of my favorite Lush body sprays. I've always adored this scent. It's so interesting to me how spot on they can make these scents when it gets to a body spray. I mean, it's obvious that they could because it's their own line, but still I feel like Big originally was a shampoo, and it even smells the way Big does, like in the shower, because I feel like with Lush products, and if you use Lush you'll know, they smell better and slightly different oftentimes when you're actually using the product than when you're just smelling it in store or when you're just smelling the product. And this smells like Big shampoo when you're actually using it and like lathering it through your hair with that coarse salt and like the quite strong lather, to be quite honest with you, and the neroli. It's just beautiful. I love that scent, and now that I get to wear it and I don't actually have to use the shampoo, which is at times drying for my dry hair during the winter time, I just use Big year round now, which is so nice. And then we get to Stella by Stella McCartney. So I do like this. I have to say, I think I might have just amped up in memory how much I actually liked this. There was a time, I had just such a distinct memory of me having tried this in Sephora years ago and thinking it was so stunning and then never picking it up. And then when I saw it and I was making another purchase, I'm like, you should get Stella. You've always thought you liked it. And I got it and I do like it, but I think it's still very reminiscent of, and I always forget which one, but I think, yes, it's Nirvana Black. It's very reminiscent to that, specifically the dry shampoo, which I use. But I guess the scent too, I just don't own the scent currently. That I was like, did I really need it? And I might have just outgrown it personally. However, it is a stunning scent. And that really is just more of like a personal thing for me, is I might need to take a break from that and come back to it, because right now I feel like I've slightly outgrown how much I thought I would really love Stella by Stella McCartney. All right, and then finally the last three are the DKNY Pool series. I don't really think anything's changed, but it might have because I forget from when I hauled it. So we'll start with we'll start with my least favorite, which is the Pool Party Bay Breeze, which is my favorite color out of all three of them, but it's my least favorite to wear because it's I honestly still love all three of them. It's a collection I was obsessed with, and I'm so glad that I picked them up and was able to find them. This is just my least favorite. I think it's the most generic smelling of the three, but don't get me wrong. I mean, I still do like them. They don't actually smell that alcohol-y, even though they're all like named after alcoholic drinks, but they're very beachy they're very summery in a non-beachy way. And in like more of like a fruity tropical kind of way, and I love them. They're just fun, and I enjoy these kinds of summery fruity fragrances way more than Escada kind of summery fragrances. So the second one for me is Mai Tai, and I haven't sprayed this one in a while actually, because once we get to my favorite you'll see this has a little bit of and it's hard to place, but this has a like sour gummy smell to it. If you've ever even had like those super sugary alcoholic drinks that have like sour gummies in them, that's what it smells like. It smells very much like sour gummies, which I love. I actually think it's really fun. So it's just like a step higher than the blue one. And then my favorite, which I thought was going to be my least favorite when I'd hauled them, is the Lime Mojito. This is to die for. It is so so delicious. It is so yummy. It's actually more sophisticated than the other two. The lime is tart but slightly candied. Oh my God, I love this. I cannot wait to wear this to like the pool or with water. Like I feel like this is, out of the three of them, the one I want to wear to a pool party the most. I think it's stunning. So yeah, I really, really recommend these. They're obviously really hard to find and they've been discontinued, but I think DKNY actually did, like concept wise, did a great thing with this collection. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Second Impressions series. So this is part 19. Like I said, I had a great time kind of revisiting some of these fragrances, and some of them are real gems for me, like that Lime Mojito and Lune Feline and Naxos I come back to time and time again. So let me know in the description box below if you are more interested in trying any of these fragrances. If you have, then I'd love to know what you think about them. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.